Not becoming a millionaire is a choice, and I guarantee you'll actually agree with me after watching this video. You don't need to be rich, work 80 hours a week, or start a business to become a millionaire. With just £100 a month, some consistency, and this simple formula, you can build a retirement pot worth £1 million, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. If you're in your late 20s or 30s and you're not doing what I'm about to break down in this video, then the stats show that you're likely to struggle to afford a comfortable retirement. You might have guessed that it involves compound interest, but there's one key factor that almost no one talks about, and it makes all the difference. Okay, I'm excited about this one, so let's get into it. Firstly, I just want to give you some stats just to put this whole thing into context and show you why this is so important. Because most people just don't have savings. According to raisin.co.uk, the average savings pot for 25 to 34-year-olds in the UK is just £3,500. And even when you look at people aged 55 and over, those pretty close to retirement, the average savings are just over 20 grand. Nowhere near £1 million or enough to retire comfortably. Even worse, when people do manage to save, they often leave that money sitting in a standard current account. It earns them absolutely nothing, or maybe a tiny bit of interest, but that doesn't even keep up with inflation. That means over time, their money is actually losing value. According to the PLSA, people need somewhere between £490,000 and £790,000 in savings to enjoy a comfortable retirement, which makes what I'm going to cover in this video even more crucial. That amount, combined with a state pension, would give you around 43 grand a year after tax during retirement. But anyway, let's talk about just saving £100 a month. I know everyone's circumstances are different, but for most people, there's something they can do to free up an extra £100 somewhere in their budget. A lot of people watching this probably do have the funds, they just don't know where to put it or how to make it work. But even if things are tight, there are ways to make it happen. Maybe you could cut back on meals out, batch cook your food and ease up on takeaways, skip the £5 coffees when you're out, or do a bit of overtime at work. Move to a cheaper gym, space out your haircuts. Fuck it, just cut your own hair. The point is, if you go through your monthly expenses with a bit of intention, I guarantee you'll find money you can redirect towards your future. Any small sacrifices you make now, they're a small price to pay for decades of financial security later. But how do we turn £100 a month or £1,200 a year into £1 million? That's like 800 years worth of savings, and over 40 years, that's only 48 grand in contributions. The secret weapon is compound interest, but you already knew that, so maybe not so secret. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned about 10.5% annually on average. So if you invested £100 every month into the S&P 500 and reinvested your dividends based on the typical returns using a low-cost platform like Vanguard, after 40 years, you'd have about 760 grand. Still short of £1 million. However, this is the key. But just before I get onto that, I just want to ask a quick favour. If you're finding this interesting, I'd really appreciate if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel. I know it's a bit annoying to hear, but this channel is still small and even a single like or sub helps the YouTube algorithm push it out to more people. It's completely free, takes 2 seconds, and it makes a massive difference. I would really appreciate it. Alright, let me show you how to instantly boost your pot to £1 million. If you invest for a private pension like a SIPP, platforms like Vanguard automatically claim 20% tax relief. Higher rate taxpayers will need to claim the additional tax with a self-assessment, but that means your £100 monthly contribution effectively becomes £125 invested. Now let's run the numbers again. Investing £125 a month at the same 10.5% return over 40 years gets you around £949,000. That's nearly at the £1 million mark, and with just a few tweaks you can definitely push it past it. For example, you could increase your monthly contribution in line with inflation. Even increasing it by just 1% each year will easily get you over the £1 million target. You can actually tailor this to your personal situation. There's a simple way to work out how much you need for retirement using something called the 4% rule. It's a simple calculation to estimate the pension pot required for your desired annual income in retirement. The theory is this: you take your target annual income and you divide it by 0.04. That gives you the lump sum you'd need to safely withdraw 4% every year adjusted for inflation over a 30-year retirement. So let's say you want 40 grand a year during retirement, divide that by 0.04 and you get £1 million. That's your target. You draw down 40 grand in the first year, then maybe 40,800 in the second year, if inflation is 2%, and so on. It's fucking scary to think about, ain't it? No one wants to imagine getting old, and when you realise how much you need to save, especially if you're starting from scratch, it can feel properly overwhelming. But now you know, with a modest income and the discipline to save just £100 a month, anyone can become a millionaire, slowly, steadily, and with minimal effort once the systems are in place. Okay, to close this out, let's review the formula from the beginning and break it down. If you invest £100 a month into a SIPP and increase this amount by 1% per year, your pension platform will gross it up with at least 20% pension tax relief. Then compound this money monthly at an annual interest rate of 10.5%. Do this for 40 years and you'll have over £1 million. Now, you might already have a workplace pension, other savings or investments, but given how easy this is to set up, I see it as a solid foundation. Anything else you have on top is a bonus. This isn't about getting lucky or working yourself into the ground. It's about understanding how to make your money work for you over time. So now that you've seen how it's possible, the next question is, what can you do with the income you have right now to get started? There are smart ways to structure your finances so that you're not just saving enough, you're putting your money to work in the right places. You can build a budget around the ideal spending and investing ratios to make sure that your present lifestyle and future goals are both supported. I'm going to break all of that down in my upcoming budgeting series. Don't forget to like the video if you found it helpful and subscribe to catch more videos like this as soon as they drop. This channel is all about making money online, from alternative investments to passive income ideas, e-commerce and strategies like this to build wealth over time. So if that's your thing, stick around. But for now, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.